Hello and welcome to Grocer Pod. My name's Sean Kassednar. I'm coming to you from the 2026 Innovation Showcase. Jamie Gray from North Country is here, and we're going to be talking about data. But before we get to Jamie, I want to remind you to please subscribe to Grocer Pod. Subscribing means new episodes will be downloaded for you each week. You can find Grocer Pod on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Music, or any other platform you use to listen to podcasts. Welcome to the show, Jamie.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Jamie, why don't you tell everyone listening what North Country is?
Sure. So North Country is what traditionalists would call a full-service point-of-sale reseller. We sell various products from hardware, software, front end, back end. But then it goes beyond that. We sell things like managed services for network security, telephony systems, all the sorts of things that businesses need to keep their infrastructure running and going smoothly.
And from the sounds of it, one of the biggest things that you guys work in is data. And it's 2026. There's never been more data in the world than there is now. And AWG member retailers are absolutely inundated with it. How does North Country help, make sense of all of it?
Well, we try to simplify the tons of data that are available to folks today. The AI term is thrown around a lot. AI is only as smart as you're able to ask it the questions about your relevant data. So there'll be data from what customers are buying, what customers aren't buying, what vendors are stocking, what vendors aren't stocking, what items are priced correctly, what items aren't priced correctly. So it's just, like you said, an inundation of data that comes from all sides, whether it be the customer selling side or whether it be the costing side, more of what costs these members money all the time.
What sort of data are AWG member retailers most interested in right now?
It depends who you're talking to, but a lot of times it's item related, and it could be, I've got items that are in an improper category and we just didn't know it. We're purchasing these particular items from a vendor that sells us beer, as an example, and it's a non-beer item, and the revenue flows into the alcohol or the beer department. And for whatever reason, that is dragging down the revenue of that department. That's making it harder for managers to understand, the category folks to understand what is going on. So understanding what items are in what categories, what items are selling, and more importantly, what items are selling at the proper price. Everybody's in this to make money, and if they have things priced incorrectly, well, that kind of goes out the window.
No, absolutely. So that's what the retailers are coming to you interested in. What should they be interested in? What kind of data is the most important right now in 2026?
Well, there'll be a lot of different opinions on that, of course, but I think a lot of it has to go back to ultimately everybody's in this business to serve the customer, to get the customer into the store, to get them to buy one more item, spend one more dollar, make one more visit to their store. Whether you call that loyalty or something else, I think it's getting more of that basket from the customer, understanding what it is that they're buying and what it is that they aren't buying. The example I always use is my infamous now hot dog demo. You're able to tell now what folks are buying: hot dog buns, ketchup, mustard, pickle relish, but they ain't buying hot dogs from you. So, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out they're eating hot dogs as a meal. You ought to try to find some method of whether it's a promotion or just whether it's going out being nice, asking them why they're not buying your hot dogs, just to figure that out, to get more of that basket from a particular customer.
And how does North Country help retailers do that research, figure out, because I can kind of tell oh man, we really need to stock up on mustard and pickles and ketchup. Maybe they're buying hot dogs or maybe they're eating hot dogs, but without actually diving into all of it, that can be tough. So how does North Country help?
So it's the aspect of being able to see many different retailers across the nation that I think makes the difference. So we kind of see those little things to look for, those little things that catches my eye a little bit. And it's more or less just showing the retailers that getting and mining this data isn't that difficult. It's a couple mouse clicks away these days. It goes back to just trying to simplify your business world and what goes on throughout the day. Simplify that process a little bit by just saying, what do folks buy for meals? What do they eat for dinner? What do they eat for lunch? Why aren't they buying that from me? Why are they buying it from the guy down the street? I want them to buy it from me. And it's not really hard. You got to get the grocer to sit down for a second and just take a breath and think about it a little bit. And yeah, they know it all. It's just being able to take that extra bit of time. So our job is to show them that it's not hard to do this. It doesn't take a lot of time. You don't need a full-time person to do things like this today. So that's really our job. It's more or less to show them it is possible, it is easy, and you can do it.
And so how often do you suggest that retailers are are taking that sort of look? Is that a weekly task? Is that a monthly task?
I think it's going to be dependent on what types of things they are looking for. If it's high dollar items, high margin items, they're probably going to want to look at that a little bit more frequently, at least weekly, probably several times throughout. And they're probably doing that today. It just may not be painting the larger picture of, hey, I'm in this to sell the entire meal to this particular customer. I'm not in it just to sell part of it. I don't want to go down the street. So it's just taking that time to think about what is the most pain point, or what is the largest pain point in my store today, and just spend a little time to figure it out. It's really not that hard anymore with all the data available to us.
Yeah, so what sort of tools does North Country offer that makes it so easy?
So the couple different things. Our point of sale systems have back office reporting structures that allow us to query things that before we just thought was impossible to query. Not to get into the specific products, but just querying what customer buys this, that, and the other thing, and then what does not, or what doesn't that customer purchase from us. Things like that are very, very simple. But then it's also aggregating the data, because data is coming from AWG, data is coming from other DSD types of vendors, data is coming from all over the place, from their customers. It's coming from other marketplace factors as well. So it's consolidating that data and making it available to them in one central location, bringing it all together and saying, this is what the data is showing. Now it's time to act on that.
Yeah, like you said, the data is coming in from so many different places, and people have all these different systems. Like, does North Country allow those systems to work together?
That's exactly right. We have a platform called Pixis, and that platform integrates data in from however many data sources that you want to bring to us, and it streamlines that data, normalizes it, and says to the POS system, all this data is really available for you to use. And then the reporting engine just spits that out to the retailer so that they can see that data on demand whenever they want it.
And I'm going to guess that those reports are already in there and they don't have to come up with them themselves.
That's right. That's exactly right. And they can even customize them. I know that's not so nice of a word, but you can customize them so it could just be one click away. All you wanted to do is whatever this week is, start it on Monday, end it on Sunday, or whatever the time period is, and run the darn thing. Or even better yet, I don't want to do it. Just do it for me. Email it to me. I want to see the spreadsheet or whatever.
And so let's say that I'm maybe newer to the business or whatever, stuck in my ways. I get these reports. Do you have anything that's going to help me, make sense of them?
Yeah, a little bit of that comes from intuition, of course. But for the most part, the reports are easy enough to read and understand now. Movement reports, it's not complicated. What's selling, what ain't selling in my categories. What stuff is costing me a lot of money that my vendors are charging me, but I'm not pushing out the door? What stuff is sitting a long time? I don't want to manage inventory and mess with all that nonsense, but I just want to know what isn't going out my front door. And that's a heck of a lot easier to do with, again, just a couple clicks of buttons. Most of the reporting that they will run will be movement-based. There'll be a lot of financial reporting, of course, for the accountants and so forth. But movement can be then coupled in with customer data. What customers are buying this particular product, who's buying it, when they're buying it, that sort of a thing. It's really not hard.
And then is there anything that tells me what I should do, based on what the data that I found?
Yes, and it's a lot of it is going to go back to, I need to make a particular set of margin on this category of item. How do I do that? This is the margin I'm making. How do I do it? Well, there's a couple different ways. I could do some sort of promotions. I could do some BOGOs. I could do some buy X and get Y type of thing to get folks to manipulate the behavior within my store. And it's really that. There's just a couple basic things. There are hundreds of promotions, but they all come back to about the same thing. Trying to get that customer to act in the behavior you want them to act in, buy the stuff in your store.
That sounds great. If any member retailers are interested in any of the products that North Country offers, what do they need to do?
They can go to our website, gonorthcountry.com. They can call my number. I don't know if I can give out my phone number over the radio, but they can call me anytime. We're down at the booth. They can just Google North Country. They'll see us pop up and reach out to us anytime.
I will have the link to North Country in the show notes, so anyone that's interested can stop by and see. Jamie, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
And thank you all for listening. Please remember to like and subscribe to GrocerPod. That way you can stay up to date on all the latest things going on around AWG. And until next week, this has been Sean Sednar with GrocerPod.